It's something about going back to our roots. And I want you to think about your roots throughout this listening experience, or if you're watching this audio visual experience. Okay. I want you to think about growing up. And I want you to think about being asked, Will, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or who do you want to be when you grow up? And you think about how at an early age, you begin to idolize characters. Whether that character is a person, a real person, whether that character is a cartoon, whether that character is a created person from a movie, TV show, or both, or whether that person is a profession. We all are, I guess, kind of conditioned to strive to be characters. Now, think about it. When you dress up for Halloween, who do you want to be? Again, back to your idols. When you talk about what you want to be when you grow up, it's built off of a character usually. Oh boy, you remind me of so and so and so and so. Oh, a character, not a person. That's what happens so much in our society. So it makes me ask the question: as people, do we hate ourselves so much that we'd rather be and learn from characters than regular human beings? I'm over here worse than my sensation playing the wrong drops, but I want to ask you again. Humans, America, if I could do my best Bernie Mac impersonation, America, do we hate ourselves so much that we'd much rather be a character than our own selves? Do we hate ourselves so much that we would rather learn from characters than learn from human beings? Just think about this. Think about the different educational shows that you watch as a kid or that you have your kids watch. They're learning from like a cartoon character, like Steve from Blue's Clues. And Blue was like, burr, 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 like can't even speak English. And Dora, 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 the Explorer. All of these different people, right? They're characters. They're not real people. How come we just can't, have our children, have our youth learn from real people? I'd say that if I could go back, when somebody asked me what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be as a kid, I'd say the best me. I wouldn't want to be anybody else because now I don't. I don't want to act like anybody else. I don't care to look like anybody else. I don't want to dress like anybody else. I learn from a lot of people, but I want to be like myself. But our society has told us that we have to learn from characters. And what that does is it causes those people who are true, genuine people who have a message to teach people to turn into characters. Yeah. Turn into characters. See, the whole reason that the character, the Big Baby, was created, it was not created because I didn't think I could come on here and talk about things that people cared about. I didn't think that I could, have a good message to tell the people. It was like, you know what? Nobody wants to hear from AC. Nobody wants to hear from Adam. They want to hear from a character. So let's create a character that is a caricature of who I truly am and use that to try to push a message. And as I'm evolving and as I'm growing, I say, you know what? I can't do that anymore because I don't want to create a character to get my message across. If you can't take my message from me, then maybe it's not for you. At some point you get tired of dumbing down what you do to try to reach everybody. And you get to a point to where you want to smarten up, open the market up, and speak to those who can actually understand what you're saying. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean we turn our backs on those who can't understand us. No. We turn our backs on those who don't want to understand us, who don't try to understand us and want to be in love with a character. I'll tell you, man, going through this process, one of the most difficult parts about it has difficult. One of the easiest parts about it, and one of the difficult parts to live with, is people who know me by my first name, my middle name, and my last name, and will go up to me and say, "Big baby." Man, if you don't get out my face calling me that, I'm not in character right now. Do you think somebody walk up to Joaquin Phoenix and go, Joker? I'd hope not. But it's probably true because sadly enough, people go up to Alfonso Ribeiro and they be like, "It's not unusual. It's not unusual." And you'd be like, "Bro, that's a character. Not a man. That's a character." But as a society, we're fascinated with characters. And I think about it. Think about Tupac. Tupac was probably the biggest character / caricature of himself that we could find. This man was an actor, a man of the arts. Went to art school with Jada Pinkett Smith. Make sure I put the Smith on there. I don't want to get smacked. But yet, he found his message being most heard when he decided to embrace thug life and go to prison and perpetuate the life that he was trying to get us to leave. Because as black people, now I'm starting to talk to black people. I ain't talking to everybody else anymore. I'm talking to black people. We want somebody to have stripes before we can listen to them. We want them to be proven before we can listen to them. They got to be either a criminal or a reformed criminal, or they got to be perpetuating a lifestyle that is counterproductive to our progress in order for us to listen. That's what we do. You understand that? I mean, that's why Cardi B gets to be on presidential campaigns telling us who to vote for. Excuse me, say what? Cardi B? You couldn't find one of our our esteemed theologians, or one of our esteemed academics, or one of our esteemed business people to go talk. No, they can't come talk to our community because our community don't know who these people are. Because instead of studying the real people in our community, we want to study the characters. Damn it, man. You hate yourself so much that you don't even want to study a real person. You want to study a character because you'd rather be more like a character than be like the person that you truly are. And let me tell you, that's corrupting our character. Think about it. Big interviews. Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, they went to the Breakfast Club to get the black vote. The Breakfast Club. That's who's telling us what. A man, Charlemagne the God, that's not his name. DJ Envy, that's not his name. Angela Yee, yeah, she goes by her name. But you got 66.7% of the show of people who are in character. The characters. They're not being who they truly are. And that's where we get our information. Well, we go get our news from the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, the Spiritual Word. Man, these are news sources. Characters. The characters. You don't even know what they look like. You don't know what they sound like. It's a nameless face. It's a faceless name. And that's where you go for information. Characters. We've got to stop going to characters. We got to stop worshiping characters. And we got to start talking to people. We've got to start being people. We got to aspire to be better people. Be our better self. I don't want to grow up to be like Batman or Superman. I want to grow up to be like a healthy, successful, prosperous black man. But what do I know? Because I'm just a character. and they call me the Big Baby, and I'm back. Y'all know I just can't wait till I get rid of this Big Baby name so I can stop being a character. But until then, I told y'all I would give y'all the episode 200. And it ain't no more Big Baby. We got a new name.